Peters, I hope you're ready for chapter 3 of The Legend of Kevin. It's called A Fistful of Biscuits. Eek, said Max, but he still had his wits about him, so he said it very quietly. Daisy, what are you doing? His sister was standing in front of the big living room window, looking out at the rain. Don't call me Daisy, she said. I am Elvira. But isn't the storm wonderful? Listen how the wind howls. What sad music it makes. And how the torn clouds scud across the pale face of the moon. Max sighed. Daisy hadn't been the same since she went out on that class outing to see the Bumbleford Amateur Dramatic Society's version of Dracula when she was in Year 8. Ever since, she'd been fascinated by stories about gruesome ghosts, gloomy tombs and sad ladies in lonely towers. Mum and Dad said it's just a phase she was going through, but it had lasted nearly 2 whole terms now, and Max thought it was high time she got over it. On a night like this, witches and spirits may be abroad, she said, gesturing dramatically to the storm. I don't blame them, said Max. I expect they've probably gone somewhere nice and sunny like Spain. Not that sort of abroad, said Daisy. Abroad means out and about. Why not just say out and about then? Because abroad sounds old-fashioned and poetic, said Daisy. She turned back to the window as another massive gust of wind leant against it. On a night like this, who knows what strange creatures may be out and about? Vampires and ghosts and fat flying ponies, suggested Max, who just wished she'd shut up and let him go back to the room to give Kevin the biscuits. Fat flying ponies, said Daisy. Don't be so silly. She gave him one of her hard stares. What are you doing out of bed anyway? You're still up, said Max. That's different. I am a creature of the darkness. I love the moth-haunted mournfulness of midnight. You're just a little boy, and it's long past your bedtime. Have you been stealing biscuits? No, said Max, holding the 3 custard creams carefully out of sight behind his back. Said Daisy. She was an observant girl, and Max looked exactly like a person who was hiding 3 stolen biscuits behind his back. She couldn't tell that they were custard creams, though. She wasn't that good. Well, get back to bed and leave me to my sad and important thoughts, or I'm going to tell Mum and Dad. Max shrugged and hurried off to his bedroom. Ooh, custard creams, said Kevin, when he saw the biscuits in Max's hand. They were a bit squashed because Max had sort of squeezed them when Daisy made him jump, but Kevin didn't seem to mind. He ate 2, and he enjoyed them so much that Max gave him the one he had been saving for himself as well, which was very nice of him. Kevin was still rather damp and his wing hurt, but he was starting to feel a little better. He decided that he liked this boy who had been so kind to him. He put his nose against Max's cheek, made a sort of snorty noise that meant thank you. It tickled a bit, which made Max laugh. Then Max snuggled down next to Kevin, pulled the duvet over them both. His bedroom was starting to smell quite strongly of wet pony. But there was nothing Max could do about that. In the morning, he would tell Mum and Dad about his strange midnight visitor. He fell asleep, wondering what they would think of Kevin. Would they let him stay? Let's find out in the next chapter.